Now for updates on sports stories across the globe, Abi Yamon is here ready to give us the latest updates. Good morning.
Good morning, Ayo. Good morning, Dr. Abati, and good morning, Rufai. Nice to see all three of you this morning. I beg your pardon, Vimbai. There's a lot happening in the world of sports. It's been a long weekend in sports, and we'll begin with Nottingham Forest, where Taiwo Awoniyi was on target for his club in their 3-0 victory against Wolves. Now, this is Taiwo Awoniyi's first Premier League goal this season, and his first goal in 324 days for Nottingham Forest. And he's not been consistent because of injuries, but now he's gotten a first goal. Hopefully that continues. But Nottingham Forest are on a very good run of form at the moment, winning 6 consecutive games in the Premier League, the first time since 1967, and they have kept 4 straight clean sheets. Olaino has been in action for them, doing so well for the club, and as it stands, Nottingham Forest are third on the table, 6 points behind Liverpool, same as Arsenal, who are second on the table. But next week, should Nottingham Forest, who defeated Liverpool in the first leg, get a victory against Liverpool, it will mean they are 3 points behind Liverpool and definitely put them on the title race. It's been a good job Nuno Espirito Santo has been doing with the club since he took over from the club that finished 17th on the Premier League table last season. And away from that, we had the FA Cup EFL Cup semi-finals. The first leg going to be taking place later tonight. We'll see Arsenal take on a Newcastle side. Both sides are coming off of games this weekend where Arsenal drew 1-1 against Brighton, and we also had Newcastle United defeat Tottenham Hotspur in their own home ground. And now the face-off, Alexander Isak is on form, scoring week in, week out. There's also Gabriel Jesus, who had the resurgence this new year. We'll see what the results proves for both sides later tonight. And away from that, we had the Italian Supercoppa being played in Saudi Arabia, and it was AC Milan that staged a beautiful comeback against Inter Milan, and the winner was called by Tammy Abraham. It was a very interesting game there that saw the new coach, Sergio Conceição, get the first trophy for them in 2025. He took over from them when they had their former coach, Francesca, being sacked, and this time out, he's trying to see if AC Milan can do a lot better. At this point, they are currently 8th on the table and 12th on the Champions League table, but this is their first trophy, an intense game that saw Pulisic on the score sheet as well as Theo Hernandez after Lisandro Martinez and Tyre Mendy scored the first 2 goals. It was 2-0, but they ended up getting a 3-2 victory in that encounter. And we move away from that and go straight to Super Falcons. That's Deborah Abiodun, who has moved to join Washington Spirits. But the interesting thing about it is that she left her university 2 years early to join Washington Spirits till 2027, and she has an option to extend to 2028. She's a Super Falcons midfielder, and she has featured in the Women's World Cup and also at the Olympics last year. Big congratulations to her. See where that journey takes her. And we'll move away from football now and go to tennis, where Novak Djokovic is speaking on his trauma over the COVID deportation as the Australian Open begins on Sunday. He says that the situation there was very terrible for him. It still gives him trauma. And we know that last year, Novak Djokovic was without a Grand Slam. He won the Olympic gold that he has been searching for a very long time, but he did not get the Grand Slam. And he will be hoping to get a Grand Slam this time out to make it 25 Grand Slams for him. He has a lot of competitions, Yannick Sinner, Carlos Alcaraz, but we'll see what he can do. He has a new coach joining, that joined his team. We'll see what he can do with them. And finally, from me, Sabalenka kicked off at 2025 in style, winning the Brisbane title. We know she is a defending champion in the Australian Open back-to-back. She's hoping to make it 3 straight Australian Open titles. We'll see how that pans out for her, but she is becoming the queen of the Australian Open. That's all for me on the World of Sports today.
All right, thank you so much for that, Ebi. I think I'll stick to Novak Djokovic and, the discussion around trauma and mental health. It's, it's so easy for us to write things off and minimize some of these experiences, but you can just only imagine what during the time. Remember how much there was such a negative conversation. There was so much backlash against him because he was choosing not to be vaccinated and standing by that. And so there was on one side the conversation on social media. Then on the other hand, I can't even imagine how traumatizing it is to be deported from a country. So I totally relate with that conversation around trauma.
Well, first of all, let me just say today, I just want to celebrate the man behind the success, at least that Nottingham Forest is currently experiencing. Their coach since December 2023, Nuno Espirito Santo. And, that match against Wolves, like you just talked about, was his former club. He coached Wolves for 4 years, I think from May 2017, and before he moved on to Tottenham Hotspur. They've beaten Tottenham, and they're going to be facing Liverpool next week. And what people are saying is that if they can actually beat Liverpool next week, it means that they definitely have a run into being top of the table, or at least going to Europe this year. That's the top, going to the Champions League, which they haven't done in 30 years. So that's really saying something, about his performance. So really saying, well done to the guys. It's always great to see the underdog emerge. And that's the beauty about football. Anything can happen. It's not the preserver with you. Anyone can emerge. And we've seen the success stories with Leicester and a few other teams like that. So let's see if Nottingham Forest has what it takes to not just perhaps lead the table, even though obviously I'm partial to Arsenal, but also go to the Champions League this year.
Nottingham Forest has not been in Europe for 45 years. So that's why their performance this time around in the Premier League is remarkable. If they can finish top 4, then they will go to Europe again after 45 years. But yes, the big match is against Liverpool next week. If they're able to beat Liverpool, they will get into the title race. Taiwo Awoniyi did very well yesterday, came in 65th minute, and it was the person that scored the last goal, at about 90 plus 3 minutes. But congratulations to him. He's doing very well, as they say here. Naomi Osaka seems to be having quite a number of things around her. She withdrew from the Auckland Classic due to abdominal injury. And now on the home front, she has, called off the relationship with her boyfriend, a partner, Cosba, they call him, the rapper, with whom they have a child together. She took 15 months off to go and have that baby, and now the relationship seems to have collapsed. Well, we hope that she'll be able to pull herself together, but it's still very doubtful whether she'll be able to join the Australian Open next week, now that she says she has abdominal issue. As for the Supercoppa Italiana, congratulations also to AC Milan. Now, they didn't play well in the first half. It was Inter Milan dominating, but they came back in the second half, and they just quickly put in 3 goals to be able to win their 58th trophy on record. If Inter Milan had won, Inter Milan would have won the Super Cup back-to-back 4 times. But AC Milan was able to bring up that magic. Thank you very much, Ebi. Thank you very much.